Okay, and we're back. Welcome back to the Hunter Call the Wild. I'm the gray-haired gamer, your host, and with me, as always, is Gunner, the Wonder Dog. Now, today we're going to do a follow-up on our new player guide, and today we're going to be talking about experience, skills, perks, and then we're going to get into some tips and tricks to help you work around some things until you have some skills unlocked. Okay, so the first thing with experience is there are two different types of experience. There's experience that you get for your character, which levels you up as a hunter, and then there is weapon experience. And the only way to get experience is to hunt down, shoot, and kill an animal. But the most important part is you have to harvest them. You have to collect up your kills. Otherwise, you get zero experience, zero money, etc. So if we look at my character here, you can see, let's go to our codex and our hunter, our profile card. Okay, now you can see here that right now I am level 43. I still have not made level 60 back yet. I have 168,000 experience points, and I need 174,000 to level up. You can also see that with my skills, I have unlocked 9 out of 26 skill points. I have 11 perk points out of 24 unlocked. And then down in the bottom right, you can also see our individual weapon score. And you can tell by this that we've been using our rifle quite a lot. 25,323 rifle score, 15,790 archery, very little handgun, and shotgun score. So you can obviously tell what I use a lot there. Okay, so to get experience, like I said, we need to go out, find an animal, hunt it, kill it, and harvest it. So let's go on out here and see if we can find us an animal pretty quickly and see if we can get a kill here quick and show you exactly what happens. Like I said, when we kill and harvest an animal, we will get two forms of experience. We will get experience for our character to level ourselves up as a hunter, and we will also get weapon score or weapon experience. And that is based on what weapon we use to actually make the kill. If we use a rifle, any form of rifle, we will get rifle points. If we use any type of pistol, we will get pistol points. Same with shotgun, same with archery. We can use crossbow, we can use compound bow, traditional bow. It all falls into archery. Now, the advantage of leveling up your weapons and getting that higher weapon score is that it does unlock bigger and better weapons. It unlocks bigger and better scopes, better ammunition, that sort of thing. Now, if you're a brand new player, you're just starting off with a little 243 rifle, you will understand why you want to get bigger and better weapons. The first weapon you unlock is the 270, but there are so many more that you can unlock. Now, we've, like I said, we're not level 60 yet, but we've unlocked quite a few weapons by using that rifle. And we've unlocked some big guns. We've unlocked the 330 or 300 Magnum. We've unlocked the 7mm. We've unlocked the 338, the M1, the 303. Now we have a very, very nice selection to choose from. And we can pick and choose what weapon we like, as well as we can choose a weapon based on what we're hunting. Okay, here we got some tracks. Now we are hunting a spot that we know should have quite a few animals in here. And it should only take us a few moments to find one. And then after we go over our experience and how we get it and exactly what that does for you, we're going to go into skills and perks. Some perks and skills that are basically necessary, like you have to have certain ones. Some optional ones, and some that really don't help you. But to get those skills and perks, you need to level up. When you start at level 1, you have nothing. You have no skill points, no perk points. When you first level up, you go from level 1 to level 2, you get your first skill point. And then when you go from level 2 to level 3, you get a perk point. They alternate. From level 3, like I said, level 2 is a skill point, level 3 a perk point, level 4 back to a skill point, level 5 back a perk point. They alternate. One skill point, one perk point, one skill point, one perk point. So that's what makes it leveling up important. Not only does it get you those higher levels, gets you those points, gets you more money. And we're trying to find something here, so bear with me a little bit. Trying to find something to kill. Like I said, this is all based on hunting down, killing animals, and harvesting them. And your skills and your perks, they go a long, long way to making your job easier, to making the game more fun. And as well, they can really help you in a lot of ways. And like I said, as soon as we make this first kill, we're going to go back and we're going to get into those. We're going to show you the skill trees. We're going to show you the perk trees. Oh, there's something up there. Your skills and your perks, they'll make you more... There we go. Here we go. Now, while we're here, we're going to show you your first trick. Okay? When you first start off, you do not have these fancy range-finding binoculars. You just have normal binoculars, and you really don't know how far an animal is away. But you do have the ability to spot the animal. Okay? Like we just did there. Let's get one we can spot here. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to spot this animal. Doesn't really matter what it is for illustration. But we want to be able to get there where we can get that X. There we go. Spot animal. Okay, so now that we have it spotted, let's take a look at our map. Okay, now you'll see we have these two little green circles with an animal icon in there. And if we place our cursor over it, you can see previously spotted animal. Okay, so if we take our cursor and put it as close to the center of that icon as we can, and we place a waypoint right there, okay, we can see that that animal, when we spotted it, now this one obviously ran, was approximately 168 meters away. Okay, so that'll... Oh, there's wolves. Oh, shit. And he's running. He's a 6. We may have to defend ourselves here. These are the guys that spooked all my animals out the other day. So he'll do for a kill. Wolves are definitely predators. They will come attack you and kill you if possible. Okay, we are not quite sure where he went. Alright, so pardon that interruption. Okay. So you can see we're kind of off there on our waypoints. Let's try again. Place waypoint. And now we moved a little bit. So where we saw that animal was approximately 188 meters. Okay, it's not going to be exact, but it will get you in there close and give you a very good idea of how far that animal is away without using or without having your rangefinder binoculars, because you do not unlock them until later on, until you have some levels unlocked and have quite a bit of money. The most expensive rangefinding binoculars cost $24,000, so you're not going to be able to get that right off the bat. So this is one nice workaround for that. So you see how we have that waypoint. If that animal was still standing there and not got spooked by our wolves, we could see, we're closing in. Our weapon has a range, a zeroed range of 150 meters. So if we would sneak in to about 150 and we would aim up our shot, we would know we were at just the right range, that wherever we put that crosshair, boom, that's where our bullet's going to hit. Okay? So that can take a lot of guesswork, a lot of missed shots, a lot of frustration out of your game right there, and it only takes a few seconds to do it. All right, let's see if we can get up here and find another animal that, like I said, unfortunately we had some special guests here. We had some wolves. Some wolves come through here and spook our animals, so they're all on the run. But let's go on up here and see if we can find us another animal that's calmed down and sitting still. And we'll show you step by step just how to use this workaround, how to use this little trick. Like I said, when you do not have your rangefinder binoculars. Now, this game is a game of patience, regardless of what anybody says. It is not a game of run and gun. It's not a game. It's not a numbers game. It's not to see how fast you can put down animals. Because when you're at low level, patience is your friend. You are not going to be able to go and run through the woods just all willy-nilly and expect to find animals. You don't have the experience. You don't have the skills necessary yet. So don't try and play this game like a level 60 hunter, because you cannot. Okay? Patience is your friend. Stealth is your friend. Use those to your advantage. That's, like I said, that's where the skills and perks come in. That when you have certain perks unlocked, yeah, you can move a lot faster through the woods and not make a lot of noise. But when you're low level, even to mid level, no, you can't. Every misstep, every little bush, even like this, we step through that without the proper perks and the proper skills. That one little bush there will spook every animal in a 200-meter radius from you. And we got wolf again somewhere down here. Yeah, they're spooking everything. Alright, so these guys are on the move, so they're not going to be a very good example. We want to catch one sitting still. Yeah, look, with one wolf. One wolf got all these animals moving. So we're going to let them move on by. Now, we could take a quick shot right here, but one, that's not going to illustrate the trick I want to show you. And two, that'll just spook everything again and have them run off. So a lot of times, it's better to not take a shot than to take a hasty shot or to take a bad shot. Okay, you can actually going to hold still? Okay. All right, she's going to stand still. Now we can tell from our binoculars right here that she's 61 meters away. But we're going to spot her, open our map real quick, and she's right at this spot right here. Let's try and get that waypoint right in the middle there. And you can see, yeah, our waypoint's at 71 and she's at 60. So we're in there pretty close. We're in there pretty close. Like I said, it's not going to be exact, but it gives you a much better approximation than nothing. Okay, and these guys are all going to be moving back in here. So let's see if we can use that real quick. Let's call up this one. Okay, 51 meters. She's actually at 44 meters, so that's only 6 meters difference. And we can now use that. Okay. Take a shot and down an animal. Alright, so let's go find her. She'll be dead here shortly. And we can move on to explaining about experience, how you get it, what the different experience things mean, what the different rewards you get when you actually harvest an animal. So we made a shot on that little deer, and as well, we already have a waypoint here to tell us pretty much where she was when we took the shot. So right in here, we'll have blood somewhere. So we're going to have our dog track it. He is searching for blood. There, he found blood. All right, so he's going to lead us right up to where this animal is going to hopefully be dead. Like I said, the only way to get experience is to, and there's our blood, is to kill an animal, not wound it. You have to kill it, and you have to harvest it. If you kill it and let it lie, you will not get anything for it. You're just wasting ammunition. And it looks like she's laying, is that her right there? And sometimes tracking your animals down, like I said, I made a very quick, hasty shot. So it's taken her a little bit to bleed out and die. And that's okay. You have all the time in the world in this game. There is no time limits. So don't let people think, oh, you got to rush, rush, rush. And if you have to track an animal more than 100 feet, you're a shit hunter and you're wasting your time. No, you're not. Every kill is a good kill. Every bit of experience is good experience. Oh, there we got a wolf right there. Let's see if we can get a better shot on this fella. Okay, he's down. That was a much better shot. Okay, so you got to remember we use the rifle on this. So when we harvest this, we're going to get experience for our character. As well, we're going to get experience in our rifle. And there's another one standing, 2 of them. And yeah, he's going to drop. Boom. Any more around. When you're dealing with predators, you always want to err on the side of caution and look around a little bit before you claim anything. Okay. Alright, so these guys are going to serve just fine for our purposes here. Alright, we got the kill here. Now we just got to go clean and pick up the harvest. All right, so when we get close, you'll see we have the confirmed trophy here, and this is harvesting the animal, picking up the body. And where did that little box go? Why can we not claim you? All right, we claim this one. All right, so we're going to confirm it. And here we have our harvest screen. It tells us information about the animal. This was a female, 33 kilograms, common fur type. Now, I do want to pay attention to the fur type because there are rares and uncommon fur types as well, like your albino, your melanistic, which is the opposite of albino. It's an overabundance of pigment. They are considered to be very, very rare, and those are ones that you definitely want to try and keep in your trophy lodge. It also tells us our trophy rating here. This was a 31.7, and we needed 32 points to get a silver. So we were 0.3 of a point away from getting a silver medal on this. Okay, there's all our harvest checks, and we passed all of them. And you do want to pass all these to get the maximum amount of experience, maximum amount of money, maximum amount of weapon score that you can. And you can see we use the proper ammo for this weapon because if you look up in the upper left under the Iberian Wolf title, it says Class 5. So we have a weapon that does cover Class 5. Our 303 that we're using covers Class 4 to Class 7. So we were perfect there. We shot the animal 2 times or less. Obviously, we only hit it 1 time. And we have intact trophy organs, which is the head, the skull, and we hit a vital organ. And we actually hit 2 vital organs. And here you can see the rewards that we're going to get. We're going to get 123 XP for our character. We're going to get $1,001 cash. And our session score, that's basically a session score. When you're playing single player, it doesn't really matter. But when you're playing a multiplayer again, with your buddies, that's a way to keep track of like who's done better, who's killed more, or who's made bigger kills, so you can kind of compete with each other. But in single player, session score doesn't really matter. Now, if we look over here to our to the right, you can see we have hit 1. If we shot this animal more than twice, we would also have hit 2, hit 3, etc. And now this tells us about the actual shot. Hit number 1, we used the Sportster 303. We used the 303 polymer tip bullets. We were very, very close when we made this shot. We were only 12.9 meters away from them, and we got a weapon score of 45. Now that'll go towards our rifle. And then right below there, you can see that we hit the flesh, we hit the right lung and the left lung, and those are vital organs. They're the ones that are glowing red. Okay, you always want to try and get a vital organ. So then again, there's another reason to have patience, take your time, don't make a hasty shot, because if we would have hit only flesh and not hit one of those organs, one, we would have scored less on our trophy. We would have dropped 1 category from a diamond down to a gold, from a gold down to a silver, silver down to a bronze, etc. And as well, we would have only gotten about half of this experience and about half of this money. So it definitely does, it literally pays to take patient, careful shots. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We've got 3 options down here on the lower right. Now I'm on Xbox, so your controls may be a little different. Like for Xbox here, I can hit Y to taxidermy it, stuff this animal, put him in my trophy lodge. But it's a female, it's common, it's not very big, so we're not going to do that. We can also hit X to save the harvest. So, maybe we don't have enough money right now. And when you're a new player or low-level player, money's tight. So if you catch a nice big trophy, or you catch a nice rare, and you don't have the cash to taxidermy it right away, that animal is not lost. You can save that harvest and wait until you do have the money to taxidermy it and put it in your trophy lodge. So don't let that stop you from whenever you get a very nice trophy, or you get a very nice rare, you can save that. Our third option is to straight up accept it, hit A. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, now you can see there's our cash reward, 1,001. There's our XP reward as a hunter. We got 123 points for that. And we got 45 more points towards our rifle score to unlock new rifles, new ammo, new scopes for the rifle. So that is how you get experience. Like I said, you have to make the kill, and you have to collect the animal. Okay, so now we can confirm this one. And there we even got a heart shot. Your vital organs consist of obviously the heart, the lungs, left lung, right lung, the liver, the spinal cord. Now you can hit the spinal column, you can hit the vertebrae. That is not a vital organ. But if you actually sever, oh shit, we got more wolves coming. When you actually sever the spinal cord, that is a vital organ, as well as the brain. But when you take a shot in the brain, you can ruin the trophy organ, which is the skull. If you're going to taxidermy an animal and put that bust up on the wall, you obviously don't want big holes in it. So you have to be careful taking brain shots. While it does count as a trophy organ, you will fuck up your trophy. Alright, so let's get out of here. We're going to jump back to our lodge, where we're not going to get jumped by wolves. And we're going to take a look at what we can do now that we've got some experience, and we've maybe leveled up a couple times, and we got us a couple skill points and a couple perk points. How do we get them? Where do we want to spend them? And how do we use these things? Okay, so we're going to hit our menu, and you can see here we do have a subcategory for skills and a separate one for perks. So since when you go from level 1 to level 2, the first thing you're going to get is a skill point. So let's have a look at our skills. Okay, and you can see up in the upper right there that I have personally spent 8 skill points, and I have spent 4. I've unlocked 4 out of 13 skills as a stalker. There's stalker skills, and then there's a different set for ambusher. Okay, I spent 11 points as an ambusher, and I've unlocked 5 of those skills. Okay, you'll also notice underneath that ambusher that there is a reset skills. It does cost money, and the more points you have, the more it's going to cost. But if I were to mess up and accidentally click the wrong skill, or if I tried a skill and I thought it was going to be good, but it turned out that it wasn't really that effective, or it didn't help my style of hunting, and I don't have to be stuck with that skill. I can reset my skills and respend them. Okay? So don't ever think that you're stuck with your certain set of skills. Okay? So what we're going to do, our first one we're going to look at is our Stalker Tree. And you can see this has a lot of skills to help us with tracks on the ground. Again, another one with tracks on the ground will give us more information. Tracking animals, making less noise, etc. Our ambusher skills is going to be using scents, making them more effective. Whenever we spot animals, giving us more information, things like that. So there are necessary skills in both categories. Now, how this works, when you first get your first point, you're only going to be able to spend it on this tier 0, this locate tracks. Okay? As you spend more points, it will unlock higher tiers of skills. So once we spend enough points here, we will get our tier 1s unlocked. Once we spend a few points there, then our tier 2 skills become unlocked. Then a tier 3, etc. Okay? Now, one very important thing that you need to look at is you'll notice that a couple of these are green. Okay? We have our wind prediction, our startle call, our weather prediction are green. Those are what are considered to be active skills. Okay? You have to, you can only have one active perk or one active skill active at one time. Okay, so you have to choose. If you spent points on startle call and wind prediction, you can only have one of those active at a time. You have to choose. Now you can switch back and forth, but you have to manually do that. Okay? The other one are these grayed out ones or the black ones. They are what's considered passive perks or passive skills. Those are active all the time. And you can have many of those active at one time. Okay, you don't have to worry about picking and choosing. Oh, do I want to have soft feet or do I want to have connect the dots? No, they're all active all the time. It's only the green ones you have to worry about. Okay, so now let's talk about a couple necessary perks. One, obviously, locate tracks. Your first skill that you get. You can see we spend 1 point on that. The directional tracking cone becomes more accurate and narrower, both in the world and on the map. Okay, so that is going to give us a lot more correct, accurate direction when we're tracking an animal. We'll be able to know better what direction he headed off to. So that is a very necessary skill. Now you can see that I've only put 2 points into that out of possible 3. But you at least want to have 1 in there. Another absolutely necessary skill, and it will take you a little bit to unlock it, is the soft feet. Okay, level 1 reduces the noise generated when moving through foliage, such as grass and leaves. Level 2 reduces the noise generated while moving through larger vegetation, such as bushes and shrubs. That is absolutely necessary that you put the full 2 points into there. That will let you stalk a lot better, be a lot more sneaky, a lot more stealthy, get in closer to animals before they hear you and get startled and run away, and let you make a lot closer and a lot more accurate shots. Okay, so that one is absolutely necessary. If you only get one skill in the Stalker Tree, make it your soft feet. Okay, now you can see that I don't even have my tier 3s or my tier 4 skills unlocked. And after reading through them, there's none of those really up there that help my style. So I spent 2 points in locate tracks. I went up here to track knowledge, which is another, while it's not absolutely necessary, it is an extremely helpful skill. Now this, whenever we see the tracks on the ground, whenever you have 0 points in this, you'll see whenever you examine a track, it'll say white-tailed deer. Boom, that's it. Okay? Now with me, I have level 1 that reveals information about the animal's gender. So I'll know whether I'm tracking a doe or a buck. So if I'm looking for a big trophy, I obviously want to be following a buck. So if I find a doe track, I know not to bother following a doe. Okay? So that's very, very helpful right there. Level 2 in this skill reveals information about the group size when investigating need zone tracks. Okay, that's your markers on the ground. Whenever you see the cluster of little hoof prints where animals drink, it will tell us how many animals come into that zone. And as well, it will reveal an animal's approximate health when investigating blood trails. Now, we make a shot, we hit the animal, and we're following it with no points in this, you see blood splatter on the ground, it will tell you the bleed rate, and that is it. It'll tell you whether it's low bleed rate, medium, or high bleed rate. That's all. Since I have 2 points in this skill now, whenever I examine blood, it will tell me approximately whether that animal has 75 to 100% health, 50 to 75, 25 to 50, or 0 to 25, almost dead. And we'll be able to track that and see that health drop as we track an animal, so we'll know when it's about to drop. Okay. Level 3 reveals information about the animal's approximate weight when investigating footprints and fur types when investigating disturbed vegetation. So that one again will come in handy. Like I said, when we're hunting a whitetail, one, we want to be hunting a buck, for the antlers, and as well we want to be hunting a big buck. So now that I have 3 points in there, I can tell the animal's approximate weight. I can tell whether it's just a little tiny buck or whether it's a big beefy buck worth spending my time on. So that one is also, like I said, not absolutely necessary, but extremely, extremely useful. And then we have our soft feet perk. So you can see there's basically about the only ones I really spent points on. Now I did have to spend 1 extra point in tier 1 to get my tier 2 unlocked. So I put 1 point into this hardened. It gives me a 15% increase in my health. And that wasn't necessary, but that was only so I could unlock this tier of skills. Now let's take a look at our ambusher. There are a couple in here that, again, not absolutely necessary, but they are very, very useful. And the one being spotting knowledge. Okay, now this is not for when we are looking at tracks on the ground, but when we are looking at the animal themselves and we spot them. When you have 0 points in this and you spot an animal, it'll tell you that it's a white-tailed deer. Boom, that's it. Okay, if you spend 1 point, it reveals information about the health of the animal. Full health being 75 to 100%. Now, if you shot an animal and it ran off, and you're not sure whether it's the same animal or not, when you have this unlocked and you spot that animal, and you see that it only has like 25% health or 50% health, you can confirm that, yeah, that is the same animal that you shot because he is not at full health. Number 2, level 2 reveals information about the approximate trophy rating and weight of the animal. Again, that is going to be very, very helpful when we're hunting big racks, we're hunting big bucks, we're hunting stuff to put in our trophy lodge or potential diamonds. You want to get the biggest animal. Now, you can have 2 that look very, very close, but with the naked eye, you can't tell which one's bigger. Level 2 here with the spotting knowledge will tell us specifically which is the biggest animal there and their approximate, keyword there, approximate trophy rating. Now, if you played this game at all and have watched any of the streamers, you have probably heard the term troll. Okay, what a troll is when you see a big old buck of something. Doesn't matter what, say a white-tailed deer, and you see a big old buck, and you use this spotting knowledge, and that approximate trophy rating says that it could be a diamond trophy, and you're like, oh shit, and so you bang, you pop them, you drop them, and you go up and you find out that it actually wasn't does maybe only a gold. That is considered a troll, okay, because this spotting knowledge only gives you approximate trophy rating. And level 3 here is very, very useful. Reveals information about how aware the animal is of nearby threats. So that will give you a clue on how stealthy you're being, how quiet you're being, when you're stalking these animals. So that if you spot an animal, it'll tell you whether it's calm, nervous, alerted, or fleeing. So if you're sneaking up on an animal and you first see it off in the distance and it's calm, okay, good. You start sneaking up on it, and maybe you step into a bush, okay? And maybe you forget to use your scent blocker and the wind shifts on you, and then you spot it and it's nervous. Then that animal knows something's up and you need to stop and hang out and let that animal calm down again. That can be the difference between making a kill and having an animal run away from you. Okay? So, again, not absolutely necessary, but extremely, extremely useful. And that, again, is spotting knowledge. That is also a passive skill. We do not need to turn that on or anything. The only one that's actually an active skill is the Keen Eye. It has that green, and that's all the way up to tier 4. We do have sight spotting, which allows us to spot an animal while looking down our scope using our weapon. Without this, you can only do it with binoculars. So, not necessary, but kind of useful. What other ones are absolutely necessary? That's about it, actually, in the ambusher. That's only the real one that's absolutely necessary is the spotting knowledge. So again, you have active skills, passive skills, and when you do purchase like a active skill or perk, you have to do one more step. You would hit A one time to buy it, and it will pop up a little dialog box saying yes, buy this skill or cancel, and you go ahead and you buy it, and then you have to hit a second time and it will say activate. So you have to activate the skill after you buy it, or else it won't work. Okay, so that's skills in a nutshell. Now let's look at perks. Like I said, when you go from level 1 to level 2, you get your first skill point. When you go from level 2 to level 3, you get your first perk point. And now these are a little bit different. Now you can see that we have, this is broke down by our weapon types. Rifles, handguns, shotguns, and archery. But one very important thing is you still, even though like I personally don't use shotguns, I still have 3 perks unlocked in shotguns. Okay, I have 1 unlocked in handguns. It's because you have to read the descriptions very, very carefully. Like, let's look at shotguns here for a moment. Like I said, I personally don't use them, but there are some very interesting things in here. Okay, our first perk is both eyes open. When you have to read, decreases edge blur when using shotguns with iron, red dots, holographic dots. Okay, that one, I'm not going to use it, but I had to buy it to unlock other ones that I wanted, mainly this body control and the very, very important one here, Recoil Management. Now, this was the one I really wanted, but to get it, I had to unlock body control and I had to unlock both eyes open. And this is a prime example. Even though this is for shotguns, when we read the description, less recoil when firing any weapon and able to fire a follow-up shot sooner. So any weapon, when I'm firing shotgun, when I'm firing rifle, when I'm firing pistol, I will get less jump. My barrel will jump up in the air a lot less when I pull that trigger. And I will be able to get that barrel, get that scope back down, back on target a lot faster, and I can get that second shot, even a third shot off onto one animal, or if I have like 2 nice bucks right beside each other, or even 3, I can bang, get back on target, bang, second shot, get back on target, bang, third shot. There are some weapons, especially some of the big rifles, that can be almost impossible to get back on target and get that second shot off before your animals all take off running. Okay, so that's why I say it's very important that you read the descriptions And don't limit yourself to say, oh, well, I only use rifles. I'm only going to look at the rifle perks. No, you want to look at all of them. Like I said, there are a lot of these perks that say, like this one here, body control. Weapon sights align faster after rotating with any weapon. Okay? That's very, very important. And again, you also have active perks, the green that you have to buy and activate, and as well your passive that you can have as many as you want. Okay, so you can have one active skill or perk at one time. Now let's go look at rifles here. There are a couple very important ones. One basically absolutely necessary is zeroing. You see that's green, that's an active perk. Now, when you start off and you have 0 points in this, whenever you pull up with your rifle, your handgun, whatever, you are set at medium range. Okay? Medium range is different for not every weapon, but a lot of the weapons have different medium ranges. Like for a rifle, most rifles, like your first weapon, your 243, medium range for that is 150 meters. Okay, you do not have the option to change that. So if you're firing at an animal exactly 150 meters away, that means that wherever you place that crosshair, that is exactly where that bullet's going to hit at 150 meters. So if you're trying to shoot at an animal, say that's 300 meters away, but you're only zeroed for 150 meters, and you put that crosshair right in the center of that animal, the bullet will not land there. It will actually drop, and you could even miss the animal. It can drop so much. Okay. Likewise with short range, you're zeroed for 150 meters, and you got an animal in front of you or 20 meters in front of you, and you aim at the center, you have the opportunity to actually miss that animal, because bullets at long range drop due to gravity, but at short range, bullets out of rifles actually climb, so you can hit higher than where you aim. Okay, and with 0 points, with nothing unlocked in zeroing, you do not have a choice. You are stuck at that medium range. Now, like for most rifles, like your 243, the 270, the 30-06, medium range, like I said, is 150 meters. For the air rifle, the 45 Vasquez, which medium range for that is 50 meters because it's a far less powerful weapon. For archery, medium range is 40 meters. For pistols, it's, I believe, 50 meters. So each weapon has its own long range, short range, medium range. So you have to get to know what those are. Now, I put both points into this that I could, so now I have short range and long range zeroed. Now, if we take a look, way down in the bottom right corner of my my screen there, where my mini map is, my ammunition, you'll see an icon right next to the bullet with the little hexagon. That's showing my active perk, and this in this case is my zeroing. And right underneath that, you'll see, or it says 75 meters. Okay, for this rifle, that is short range. Now on Xbox, if I hit my right bumper, boom, you see that jumped up to 300 meters. That's my long range. That means that I can shoot an animal at 300 meters, and wherever I put that crosshair, that is exactly where that bullet is going to hit. Okay? I also still have medium range, which is the normal range, 150. And now I also have short range, 75 meters. So that I am a lot less likely to miss a shot when an animal is very, very close, or especially very, very far away. Now, if I switch over, I also use a crossbow. Look at this. Its long range is only 50 meters. Medium range is only 30 meters. Short range is only 10 meters. So you can see I have very, very different ranges, very different shots that I would have to make with each weapon. But that's where you got to get to know your weapons. Okay, let's go back to our perks here. Okay, so the one in rifle that you definitely want to try and get is zeroing. Like I said, that is an active perk. That is like the only active perk that I buy. So when I bought it, I had to hit A to buy it, and then I had to hit A again to actually activate it. That's the only one I spend points on. Another one that is, it's borderline between very, very useful and absolutely necessary is breath control. And that allows you to hold your breath. Okay, now let's take a look here and we're going to show you how that works. Okay, let's pick something out here, like one of these hay bales. Now you can see I'm not touching anything and my crosshair is going up and down, up and down, up and down. It's because the rifle's not light. It's heavy. It's hard to hold steady, especially when you're standing up, and it gets up and down. And the longer I hold it, the more up and down it goes. Okay, one trick, and this is from real life, is to hold your breath. Now to do that, I'm going to click my left stick and watch how much that up and down wobble decreases. Look at that. It is staying very, very close. Now we're staying within that hay bale, within half that hay bale. But look at my heart meter. My heart's starting to beat because you can only hold your breath so long. So with 0 points in hold your breath, whenever you pull up and you start holding your breath, you're going to have about 3 seconds before you're out of breath, and that starts getting very, very wobbly again. Okay? With this perk, this hold your breath, and it is passive, I have full 3 points in that. So it does increase the time I can hold my breath and decreases the amount of wobble while I'm holding my breath. So it makes it a lot more stable and is going to give me a much higher chance of making that good shot and putting that bullet right where I want it to go, right in the vitals. So that is also like an absolutely necessary perk. Muscle memory, basically you have to spend points, at least 1 point on that to be able to unlock control, steady hands, and your zeroing. And they're all pretty useful. Like here, steady hands is pretty useful. Decreases wobble when in aim mode using, again, any weapon. So just because this is a rifle perk, don't let that think, you want to read through all of them. This will help me with using pistols, using shotguns, using archery, everything. It's ones where you definitely want to read the description and don't ignore one of these categories just because, oh man, I don't use handguns or I don't use shotguns. Read through them, have a look. Ones in all of them. I like to do some archery hunting, so I do have a couple, just a couple. These first two, move and shoot, and full draw, a couple perks. And again, this is archery, move and shoot, decreased wobble while moving in aim mode using any weapon. Now, while moving in aim mode is like here, we're in aim mode right now, and we start to move. Normally this would be up and down because we're moving our body, we're moving the weapon. But I have that perk unlocked, so look how now it's starting to wobble a bit, but it's a lot less than normal. Okay, so again, big thing here, skills and perks, active skills, passive skills, active perks, passive perks. Know the difference. Read through the perks, read through the skills very, very carefully, because while you can reset them, it is very expensive, so be sure before you click that buy button. Perks, don't ignore the other categories just because you don't use them. Another big thing is, even though you might be like level 1 through 10, You know, I only have one skill point, or I only have 2 skill points. I only have 2 perk. Be looking up here. You know, be looking at your tier 2s, your tier 3s, and kind of plan. Oh, there's soft feet. Like, I knew I had to have that perk. So even though I was level 1, level 2, level 3, I was already planning on how I could get to that skill, how I could get that unlocked the quickest I possibly could, and with the, spending the least amount of points to get to it. So plan ahead. Plan ahead, know your skills, know your perks. Okay, so I hope that helped out a lot. Now, some things that we're going to talk about next is tips and tricks on how to get around some of these. Like our soft feet. When we're low level, we don't have that perk. We're going to make a lot of noise when we're moving around. We're going to show you some tricks and some tips on how to decrease how much noise you make until you get that. Another perk or tip that we already did cover a little bit was the Waypoint Trick. How to judge distance before you have range-finding binoculars. I know when I first started, man, no one explained that shit to me, and I got very, very frustrated at, man, I took this shot, I keep missing. But this really, really helped me out. Like I said, basically whenever you spot an animal, you look on your map, like here we still have some spotted. Try to get as close as you possibly can to the center of that, pop down your waypoint, and now you know approximately how far away that animal is or was. And that'll give you a guide. So when you use that combined with your weapon zeroing, you don't have that perk unlocked yet, but you're using a rifle. Now you know that zero is for 150 meters. That is medium range. That's what you're locked into for your weapon. So now, if I'm out here and I'm 390 meters away from this animal, and I'm only firing at 150 meter zoom, I'm probably going to miss that thing. But I want to try and get as close to 150 meters as I can, or closer. Same with like my archery. My medium range is 30 meters. So I need to know how far away 30 meters is. I need to get up to 30, right at 30 meters to have that arrow or that bolt hit right where that dot is. So very, very important little trick there. One, it'll definitely help your hit ratio and as well your kill ratio. That'll make you a lot more money, it'll make you a lot more experience, and also make you a much happier hunter when you're not missing every other shot. Okay, so that is one trick, the waypoint trick I call it, for judging distance. Okay, so now you're out here and you're like, oh dude, I don't have the soft feet perk. I'm making all kind of noise. Okay, so first thing is to understand is just how much noise will you make when you're doing different things, because there are 4 different ways to move around. One is normal walking, and you can see for the terrain I'm in, I'm making 3 white bars of noise, which is a decent amount of noise, but it's nothing dangerous. When you go from having white bars of noise to red bars of noise, then that's dangerous. That's an excessive amount of noise. So just normal walking, I'm in this terrain, and I'm making normal 3 white bars. If I run, for this terrain, I'm actually lucky. I'm not making any red bars. But if I go through a bush, boom, there's 2 red bars, there's 1 red bar. That's bad, okay? For every red bar of noise that you make, That is spooking every animal within 100-meter radius of me. So 1 red bar is 100-meter radius or 200-meter diameter. I have just told every animal in 200 meters of me where I am. 2 bars is double that. 200-meter radius, 400-meter diameter. 3 bars of red noise is 300-meter radius or 600-meter diameter. So you can see how very, very important it is to keep that noise down. Okay? Especially when you're just getting started off and you're not going to be able to sit back here at 300 meters and make consistent, successful, lethal shots. Okay? Getting in close is important. Okay? So before we go running in up here, we know we have a zone up here. Okay? And we know animals are going to be in there because we scouted this out already. Okay? So before I just go running in there, I'm going to try it. I'm going to come out here and see. Okay, I can run. Okay, I'm making 1 red bar. If I walk, okay, I'm not really making too much noise. Oh, there I made 1 little flash of red bar. Oh, there I'm making a flash of red bar whenever I go through this shrub. You know, test out what you can get away with before you go heading into the area. If I crouch, okay, try that. Oh, wow, okay, I'm only making 2 little white bars. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a lot less noise. And even get down on the ground and crawl around. Oh, that's only making 1 little white bar, man. So, okay. So that gives you an idea beforehand how much noise you're going to be making in different situations. That's very important to know. And you want to know that before you're right up next to an animal. You know, because then you don't have time. You need to know this beforehand. For this type of terrain, I can be within 100 meters of an animal and I can run. Okay, 1 red bar means 100-meter radius. So I can run up to about 100 meters distance from this zone, from this marker, and I know that I'm not really going to spook anything. Okay, so we'll run up here a little bit. We're 200 meters. I'm still only making 1 red bar. Oh, there was 2 red bars when I hit that bush. Okay, so I can either do 2 things. I'm at 200 meters. I don't want to make 2 red bars now. So either I can slow down to a walk, or I can do the more important thing is watch my path. Don't go running through these bushes. Go strafe around them. Go around, watch your path. Don't hit every bush, because like I said, even these little ones in this terrain, even these little tiny shrubs can make a hellish amount of noise. In other types of terrain and other areas, even the grass, even the normal grass, when walking can make 1 red bar noise. So these are things you want to try out and get experience with before you're right next to an animal. That'll also, right there, improve your skill, improve your stalking ability. It'll get you in much closer to animals and give you a much better chance of making those lethal shots, those vital organ hits, those heart shots, those instant kills. Okay, so now we're within 200 meters. We know we can either run and pick our path, stay away from the bushes, or we can walk. Okay, we're going to walk or run here a little bit further, up to just about 100 meters from that marker. Okay, we are making 1 red bar, but as long as we're within 100 meters, or outside of 100 meters, okay, now we just crossed 100 meters. So now, if there's an animal standing right down here, and yeah, there are, if we were to run right now, if we were to make 1 red bar noise, all these deer would just fucking get on out of here. We don't want that. So now, we're going to crouch. Now we can move full speed not make one red bar noise. We know even hitting the shrubs, because I have the soft feet perk, I can hit these little shrubs. If you don't have that soft feet perk, you still want to pick your path. Because even though I only might be making 2 little white bars of noise right here, if I go through this bush, even though it's little, I could still make 1 red bar. Okay? Now look, we got these ones up here, 94 meters. Let's use our Waypoint Trick. And I believe it's this one right here that we just spotted. No, that's Iberian Mouflon. Okay, it can get a little confusing when you have multiple animals spotted. Let's see. Okay, so that is not our animal. Okay, we've spotted one to the left of that. So let's try this one. Nope, that's not it either. Try this one. Okay, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. Now, there is currently a kind of a glitch going on where it will not put the waypoint exactly where you want it, but still, we're pretty close. Okay, we're showing our waypoint at 93.44 meters. Okay, these animals are actually at 90. That one's at 93, 94. So we are pretty damn close, within 1 meter. Okay. So now, like if I want to use my crossbow and I don't have the zeroing perk, I know I'm stuck at 30 meters. So I got to sneak up to right at 30 meters to have that arrow or that bolt hit right where that top dot is. And as well with my rifle, I know for medium range, I'm set for 150 meters for this rifle. So this is half that distance, or 2/3 that distance. So I maybe want to aim an inch or 2 low. Nothing extreme, but I do not want to be aiming for the top of this animal's back or the back legs, because I have a chance of that bullet going over. I want to make sure I'm right into those lungs or that any vital organ. Okay. So we're actually going to take this one. We're going to try and slide here so we don't hit this tree. We're going to hold our breath, aim right behind that front shoulder, and bang. Instantly, dead fucking deer. Dropped right in our tracks. No tracking necessary, no running around. And we can just go pick her up. So we used our distance. We used our zeroing, and we used all our stealth, and we got in there to the proper range, and we made an effective shot, and we got an instant kill, and we have no tracking to do. We just walk over and pick her up. Now this was a doe, so she's not going to get us any trophy or anything like that. But if we are low level, don't worry about trophies. You want to get experience and you want to get your weapon score. So if you can get a clean kill on a doe, take the kill on the doe. Okay? Get that money. Yeah, every dollar is tight. Every point is important. So take what shots you can. Look, even though we aimed right behind that shoulder, still we were high. That bullet climbed that much because of the zeroing. We are actually aiming for the lungs. That bullet climbed about 4 or 5 inches because it was not the exact range. But still, we got 101 experience points. We got $1,100 cash. And we will get rifle score. Okay, so now that was with the rifle. Everything like that. You can see very simple sights. You put the crosshair right on that fella and pop him. Now with crossbow, you got something a little different. And we got 3 dots. Okay, so this part's for a buddy of mine, Turnstile Champion. I've been using the crossbow quite a bit, and been making some very good kills with it. He's been watching, and he went out and got himself a crossbow. But it can be confusing, okay? Like I said, we don't have 1 dot. We don't have 1 crosshair. We have 3, okay? So this is for anybody that wants to get into archery, into crossbows, and as well my buddy. We're going to give you a quick little breakdown on how to use this sight. Now, again, if you do not have the zeroing perk, you're stuck at medium range. Okay? So, again, with the crossbow, regular bows will be different. But for the crossbow is 50 meter long, 30 meter medium, 10 meters short. So with no zeroing, we're going to be stuck at this 30 meters. So that means, let's get on up here and find us. Dog, lay down. We should have had those deer up right in here, or did they leave already? Let's find us something to kill. Now you can notice I'm still down in a crouch. Okay, we got animals. Even though we spooked them when we fired that rifle, they will come back in here. So we want to stay quiet. So we're going to use that stealth. We're going to use our patience. And we're going to look around here. Stay quiet. And not spook anything else. Till we find something to shoot. And this time we're going to take them with the crossbow. And we got Yolam in chat saying, "Sup, first time chat from viewer. Hey Yolam, how's it going today? How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us in chat." Just trying to give some quick tips and tricks to help the lower level players. You're doing awesome. What about you? We're doing pretty good. Pretty good here. Like I said, we're doing a little tutorial for new players because I knew when I first started, this game does not explain a whole lot to you, and it can be confusing. It can be overwhelming, and as well, when you don't understand some of the game mechanics, it can be very frustrating that you're missing shots and not getting good kills. Turnstile Champion, good morning. Patience is everything. Yes, it is, sir. You are correct. And you are here just in time, Turnstile. We're going to be taking our next kill with the crossbow. So we're going to show you how to use these sights. And as well, earlier, excuse me, been talking a lot lately, so my voice is a little rough. Earlier in this stream, we did a whole big breakdown on different skills and perks, which ones are absolutely necessary, which ones are very helpful, and which ones really don't do anything for you. So if you are new to the game, or rather new to the game, or if you just have questions about that, you may want to, after we, what was that? You may want to go back and watch this whole stream to get a better breakdown. Like I said, these are things that no one really tells you. The game certainly doesn't. And as well, a lot of the big streamers assume that most people already know this stuff, so they don't really spend any time on it either. And like I said, it can be very frustrating trying to figure it out on your own. Alright, so we're sneaking around in here, and we're trying to find something to shoot here with the crossbow. Let's give a call and see if we can pull something in here. Like I said, one very important perk is the zeroing perk. Now, I noticed watching Turnstile, watching your stream the other day, you do not have that perk unlocked yet. And that's okay. We're going to tell you how to get around that. We just covered it with the rifle. The zeroing perk lets you unlock short range and long range. With any weapon, when you first start off, you are locked into medium range. Now, what medium range is depends on whatever weapon you're using. Like, obviously, a rifle is going to have a very long distance for its medium range compared to like a pistol or a bow and arrow. And you can find out what those are. Like for my rifle right here, I have the 303. Its medium range is 150 meters. My crossbow, its medium range is only 30 meters. For a pistol, I believe it's 50 meters. For the air rifle, I believe that medium range is also 50 meters. Yolam says, I'm very new to the game. I played 4 hours, and that was basically walking around. I have spotted some animals and tried shooting them in the head, but then ran away. So where do I shoot when you want to kill them in one shot? Okay, yeah, shooting in the head is bad. Okay, one, as you noticed, that it doesn't kill them right away. Okay, and two, whenever you harvest an animal, the head is considered a trophy organ. Okay, and what I mean by that is when you kill a nice big buck with a great big rack, and you want to stuff that and mount that head on your wall. Okay, you don't want to mount a head on the wall that's got a big hole in it or half of its face blown off. Okay, so the head is considered trophy organ. So if you preserve that, when you harvest that animal, you will get a lot more money and a lot more experience. Okay? Now, the places you do want to hit them that it will get you the quickest kill and as well the most experience, the most money, is you want to hit them in what's called a vital organ. Okay? The vital organs are the heart. And actually, if you can manage to get a heart shot, it will drop them instantly. Like, they will not even take one step. They will, boom, like a bag of wet cement. Okay? But it's also the smallest organ, vital organ, so it's the most difficult to hit. Okay? Other vital organs include the lungs, which are nice big targets. And if you're at the right angle, can be very easy to hit. Another vital organ is the liver, which is found right behind the lungs. Just like in a person, right between the lungs and the intestines, you have the liver. That is also a vital organ. So that is, hitting one of those is the quickest way to get a kill. There's a lot of blood vessels, a lot of blood plumping through those areas. So when you hit one of those, they bleed a lot. So they die quicker. Okay? The second places you can hit are what they call non-vital organs, which would be like the stomach, the intestines, shooting them in the butt. Okay? Which means that they're still going to bleed, but they're not going to bleed quite so quickly, and it's going to take them longer. And from a real hunting standpoint, that's not considered to be a good kill. An ethical kill is where you kill the animal so fast it doesn't have time to suffer. Okay, so that's why you want to try and hit like the heart and those types of places. But you can still get kills hitting non-vital organs. It just takes longer. You'll have to track them a little further. So the best place, the easiest target, is to shoot in the lungs. Now, ideally, let me think how I want to say this. It's the biggest vital organ, okay? So it can be the easiest to hit if the animal is at the right angle. Okay? When an animal is facing you head on, the lungs are actually a very small target. Okay? So they can be more difficult to hit. As well, you also have flesh on the chest and the breastbone to get through. Okay, so that's a more difficult target. But if an animal is standing sideways to you, then those ribs are exposed. You have the broad side of the lungs, a nice big target to hit. And ideally, when you have an animal standing broadside, you want to hit right behind the front leg. And hang out here. We're going to get up here. We're going to find an animal, and we will show you firsthand exactly what I'm talking about. We'll try and find an animal. Like, we did have some wolves in here earlier, and they were spooking up a lot of our critters. Yeah, our zone is actually down here, and our zone is over. That's probably why we're having some problems finding critters. Okay, we're going to do one thing here real quick to have a better chance of finding animals. So we're going to jump back here. This is Cuatro Colinas. This is Cuatro Colinas map in Spain. The reason we're out here is because there is a new great one, a gigantic rack, and it's a red deer. How in the world did I get so much money? Hunting animals that are worth the most and making successful kills. And this is actually not a lot of money. I've seen some people that have been playing this game that literally have millions of dollars. Okay, so we're going to reset our clock to the best time to find these red deer out at this lake. Alright, so we do have a little bit of hunting pressure. Now if we go up here, we should find some animals. We want to head right for that waypoint right there. And we will go over the, what I call the Waypoint Trick. Okay, when you first start off, you just have plain old binoculars. You don't get these ones that tell you the distance. Okay, so when we get up here and find an animal, we'll go through everything to show you how to get around that. Now, like we did talk about a little bit earlier, okay, we have our zone 400 meters out in front of us. Okay, so before we get in there, and we're right next to animals, we want to know how much noise we're going to make. So when this is going to be about the same type of terrain. So we're going to do a couple little bit. We're going to walk around at a normal walk. Okay, we're making 3 white bars of noise down in the little speaker icon down in the bottom right. So that's a decent amount of noise, but nothing dangerous. Okay, if we crouch, push B, there we're only making 2 white bars. So that's better. Okay, we can get a lot closer to animals without them hearing us. If we get down on our belly and crawl, there we're only making 1 little bar of noise. Okay, even better. But now the thing is, if we run, now we're making 3 white bars and sometimes even 1 red bar. Okay, that's dangerous amounts of noise. 1 red bar means that any animal in a 100-meter radius just heard us and ran away. Okay? 2 red bars of noise means any animal in 200-meter radius just heard us and ran away. 3 red bars is the most, and every animal in 300-meter radius or 600-meter diameter. Oh, we're buffering, it looks like. Just ran away. Yes, and you're exactly right, Mad. Backpacks do add to noise. Were we lagging there? But Mad is exactly right. But wearing backpacks definitely add to the noise. The bigger the pack, the bigger the noise. That's why I do not use one. I do not use one at all. I do not even use a fanny pack because of that noise, and makes you more visible. All right, so we tested how much noise we can make out here, what running, what crouching, what crawling does. So now we know we can get in here. Now there, like I said, if you look at our perks section, perks and skills point, we do cover a very, very necessary perk, which is called Soft Feet, that will allow us to make less noise. But if you're a new player or even a medium level player, you may not have that perk unlocked yet. So this part will be very important. Like I said, checking how much noise you make before you get next to the animals. And then the second big part is picking your path. You don't want to just walk straight in a line. If I were to walk straight through here, I go 1 through 3, go 3 bushes, and underneath a big tree. Okay? Watch how much my noise jumps going through that. Instantly, 1 red bar, even though I'm walking. Even these tiny little bushes. Boom, 1 red bar. Okay? So what I mean by picking my path is exactly that. Watching where I'm going in between shrubs, even the little ones. And now you can see I'm not making any red bars of noise. That's very, very important when you do not have that Soft Feet perk. And as well, when you do not have the Soft Feet perk, it's even dangerous for you to be underneath bushes and trees. Even crouched, you will still make a lot of noise. Okay? So stay to the side of them. Stay just outside of them. Hey, YouTube. So now we know our zone is 284 meters out in front of us. We put our waypoint on there. We know that we can actually run, and as long as we avoid the bushes, we're only making 1 red bar of noise, so that's a 100 meter radius. So we can run up to 100 meters away from this zone, and we're not going to spook any animals in that zone. Now, if there's an animal right here that we didn't see, or right there we didn't see, yeah, we're going to spook them. But we want to get down to our zone where we know there's going to be some critters. So we can run up to about 100 meters is the minimum. We're going to run to about 150. And again, we're going to pick our path. We're going to avoid these trees and these shrubs so we don't make a big amount of noise. And we're going to get up in here. Okay, we're already starting to see some tracks, so that's very good. And it looks like they're freaking wolves. The wolves have been coming down in here, spooking my animals more and more often lately. Okay, so we're about 120 meters away from that zone now. Now we're going to slow down to a walk. Now we want to, and we're still going to pick our path. We still do not want to have any red bars of noise, because that's going to put all this work that we just did for nothing if they all run away. Okay, so we can walk here normally until we either see something or we get a warning call, something like that. And there's an animal right there. Okay, so now immediately we're going to crouch. Okay, that's for 2 reasons. One, it's going to reduce even further the amount of noise we're going to make, and as well, it's also going to make us a little less visible. All right, let's get to where we can spot this critter here. Now, just because we saw that one animal right there, don't get tunnel vision. Keep your eyes open around here, because a lot of these animals move in very, very large packs. And take your time. Be patient. And dog, you better lay down. There he goes. Okay. Yeah, you can see we got all kind of tracks here. This is a female. That track's a female. Alright, so we're going to take our time. We're going to look around in here. Okay, bingo. Here's a good one. Alright, we got... Oh, and there's a few of them in there. Alright, but we got this one right here. We spotted her. Okay? What we're going to do to get around the no no rangefinder is we're going to go, you can see this little green circle, previously spotted red deer. So we're going to try to get our cursor as close as we possibly can, and it can be touchy, to the center of that as we can. Okay, that's pretty close. And we're going to put our waypoint right over that. Okay, so now we come back out. We look, you can see there, we got our waypoint 131 meters. Now there is a glitch in the game right now that it will not exactly put it where you want, but it'll still be close. So we have our waypoint at 131 meters, and our rangefinder binoculars 138. So that's pretty darn close. 6 meters difference. Okay, so that's the waypoint trick. Okay, figuring out approximate distance without having rangefinder binoculars. That'll at least give us a clue on where we need to be. So now with our rifle, even if we don't have that zeroing perk, when we're stuck at medium range, we know medium range is 150 meters. That deer is at 130. That we could basically, we can put that right in the middle there, and we could pop her right in those ribs, right behind that front shoulder, and pop both her lungs. And between 130 meters and 150 meters, it's not going to be a big, huge difference. We put that in there, we pop her, she's going to go down. Okay? But for our demonstration here, we're going to do one better. We're going to use the crossbow. Okay? Now that is going to take a little more skill because it has a very much a shorter range, so we have to get in a lot closer. 130 meters is not going to cut it. Okay? We need to get in a lot closer. Now we do want to pay attention to the wind, and in this case the wind is okay. The wind is not blowing towards those animals. The green cone is not pointing the direction those animals are in. It's behind us, so we're pretty safe that they're not going to spot us, or smell us rather. So now we got that waypoint there. Even though we cannot see that animal right this second, we still have an approximate distance of how far away she is. We saw that she was drinking, so as long as nothing spooks her, that we don't make any crazy noise, or the wind doesn't shift, she's probably going to stay there. Okay, so we're going to pick our path. Well, even though we're crouched, until we have that soft feet perk, you don't want to go just blazing through bushes and shrubs. Like I said, even these little ones will give you away. And all this work will be for nothing. So we're just going to keep picking our path. We want to keep some of these bushes and trees actually in between us and them. Because, oh, there's a nice big buck right there. But even because the bushes and the shrubs work two ways. They hide us, or they hide them from us, makes us harder for us to see them. Ooh, man. But it also makes them harder to see us. Okay, let me see something here real quick. Oh, Yep, they saw us. And that's okay. We spooked them a little bit. Okay? It's not a big deal. Now, this is one of the big rules or big tips that I can give you. Is it is better to make no shot than it is to make a hasty shot. Okay? We saw that nice big buck up in front of us there. And we could have hurried up and pulled out our rifle and made a shot and could have missed because we didn't take our time. And if we would have done that, not only would we have not killed the animal, we would have spooked everything around us. And they would have been very spooked and would take a very long time to come back. Okay, but since we just sat still, yeah, we spooked them a little bit, but you'll watch, they'll be coming right back in here, probably less. So with a little bit of patience and a little bit of scent blocker. Okay, and now since there's nothing around us, now we can get into a spot like in a bush where we can have concealment. Yeah, like here. And not worry about making noise because we already kind of spooked them. Alright, so we're just going to hang out here for just a moment. And we're going to make a call with our red deer caller. And we're going to wait for these all to come walking right back in. In fact, there he is right there. Okay, now we're going to use just the, see, he's fleeing. He'll come back. He'll calm down. We're hid. The dog's laying down. We got our scent blocker on. It's just going to take him a minute. So, patience. Now, even if we were to take a shot there, we could spook him and do more harm than good. But we want to take one with the crossbow. Alright, but in a nutshell, okay, we're at, without the zeroing perk, we're at medium range, which in this case is 30 meters. So that top dot, that top red dot, if we put that dot on a target and it's at 30 meters, that is going to hit exactly where that red dot is. Okay? The middle dot is 20 meters more. So if an animal is 50 meters away, we want to use the middle dot. And I know this is being wobbly because it's hard to hold steady after a while. So it's 20 meters difference. And again, between the middle dot to the bottom dot is another 20 meters. So if this tree right here was 30 meters away, we would use the top dot. If it was 50 meters away, we would use the middle dot. If it was 70 meters away, we would use that bottom dot. Okay, let's get one here that's standing still. That's a little row. Alright, so we can see she's at 48, 47 meters. That's pretty close to 50 meters. So, 30 meters. Fuckers hold still. 30 meters for the top dot, 50 meters for the middle dot. Hopefully she'll turn back around. Now shooting them in the butt's bad. Okay, there we got a little bit of lung. We got a little bit of the side. Okay, come on, I can't hold my breath. Now we don't want to shoot through the bush. You gotta be patient. And I can't hold my breath that long. Holy smokes, look at all you guys right here. Alright, let's see if we can pick one of these. Alright, now this is your ideal shot for Yolem. Side shot. You want to go right behind that front shoulder. That is all lungs right there. Look at that nice big area you have. If an animal is facing you, let's see if we can find one that's kind of facing us. Like even this one, it's a much smaller target to try and get in there to those lungs, especially when they have their head down. So your ideal, hey Potts, what's up? So your ideal shot is a side or broadside shot that we can hit that animal here. We could hit it all the way back to here and get lungs and get a quick kill. As well, you want to be right below the spine. Basically, it's right behind that front shoulder. That shoulder being right there. Boom, right there. Okay, so now we have this girl here. She's at 38 meters. We're going to use our crossbow. And again, without the zeroing perk, the top dot is 30 meters. The middle dot is 50 meters. So we're going to, since she's between those two, we're going to split that difference. We're going to aim right behind that front shoulder. And boom. And she's going to drop here very, very quickly. Oh, we just started a stampede. She's down to 50% health. She's down to 25% health. She's down to 0 to 25% health. So she probably just died right there. And all we got to do is go in the last direction and pick her up. She did take a little bit to bleed, so we might have been a little bit high. Say it does take a little bit more patience to use that waypoint trick, and it does help when they're standing still, obviously, but it will definitely give you a lot better chance to kill something than just taking a blind shot. It'll at least give you a very close approximation of the distance at a time in the game when you don't have the experience or the perks or the equipment to know for sure. Said it might take a few seconds to pull your map up, set that waypoint, and look, but it'll be well worth it when you get a kill out of it and not another missed shot. Not only is that wasting your time, it's wasting money for ammunition as well. It's very, very frustrating. I know when I was a new or newer player, man, it was a pain in the ass. Missing shots all the time. Alright, so we got one. Okay, I'd like to have one holding still. Alright, we got this little thing right at 40 meters. We're going to drop her too. And she's going to turn around. Ooh, in the dirt. Okay, so you can see, even though I've been playing with the crossbow a while myself, I still miss shots too. And that's all good. Don't worry about it. Found the distance numbers. Bottom right on the map are closer. Okay. Alright, what we'll show you about like that is if we place a waypoint here. Oop, I'm trying to get close as I can there, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, and we look, where's our waypoint? Okay, now looking at the waypoint here, it says 51.39 meters. Okay, if we go back to the map and we look, we put that over the waypoint, you can see, let me go here. Okay, yeah, if you look clear down at the bottom right of the corner, it says Lago Javier, and it gives the map coordinates, and it says 124.77 meters. That is the distance between us and wherever the cursor is. So that said, what, 124? And if we look here, it says 121. So there is a 3 meter difference between those. Leveled up to 12. Oh, very cool. Congratulations, Turnstile. Alright, here we got some stuff out in front of us. We're going to use this crossbow again. Nice broad on shots. 40 meters. Oop, wrong way. Oh, and she moved, so we shot her in the back. We shot her in the butt. She moved just as we pulled the trigger. All right. But I think that kind of made our point. Okay. So, any questions? Like I said, we did talk about how to get experience, the different types of experience earlier in this video, because getting experience and getting those levels is what unlocks your skills and your perk points. And then we did go through the skills and the perks, how to get them unlocked, what some skills and point or perks that are absolutely necessary, some that are very helpful, and some that are not so much. And as well, we went over some of the tricks and the tips, the waypoint trick, using the crossbow scope that is very confusing for a lot of people. So if you missed those parts and those are things that you have questions about, definitely after we publish this, go back and watch the entire video. But does any questions right here, right now, that we can answer before we close this up? We just wanted this to be a just kind of a quickie, short, instructional video. Use collars a lot more than you think. Yeah, that was one thing I never really did. Was use collars. Now some of them, they do give you a very nice variety when you first start off, but some of them are locked until you get to higher level. Like example for the white-tailed deer, they give you the doe bleat call and the meh call right off the bat, and it is very nice, very effective. But the one that a lot of people like is the Grunt Collar, and that one you have to wait a little bit till you level up a bit to unlock that one. But they do give you some pretty nice calls right off the bat. Most of them you need a few levels, nothing major. But there are some that you have to have a decent amount of levels, like Moose Collar, Elk Collar. You're not going to have those right away. And as well, they do take a little bit of money. Ooh, hello, someone run us down. About $6,000. Let's jump back to our... Oh, man, we made a mess of this. We made a mess of that area up there with the hunting pressure. Ooh, let's jump back here and look at the store. And we'll take a look at some of these collars. Because, yeah, that was something they never told me either when I was first starting, was how effective the collars are. Now, obviously, you want to have the right collar for the right animal. You will not be able to carry every collar there is. So you want to pick the calls for the map you're on, and as well for the animals. So if we go to our store here, we can find those all the way down here under lures. There's our collars. It's audio only. There's scents, which are I work on the animal's sense of smell. We have decoys. And yeah, that's it. Okay, but we want to look at collars right now. So if we look at our typical collar, our first one here, our Antler Rattle. If we look over on the right, it tells us, shows us a little picture of it. The check mark means I already own this. It shows you the weight down in the bottom right corner of the picture, 0.5, basically half a pound. And it gives you a little description. This innovative antler rattle mimics the sound of antlers clashing, which may attract aggressive deer and antelope. Now, the important part here is right underneath that, affected species. This will work on more than one type of animal. This will work on fallow deer, reindeer, caribou, lesser codu, gemsbuck, and black buck. So we can use this to hunt a few different animals across a few different maps. Let's see. Let's see. While we're talking about this, your calls also have a range because the sound only carries so far. This is one of the longer range ones, 200 meters. There are some that are only 150. So the bigger an area that you can cover, the more likely you are to have an animal get charmed, basically, by this call. You also have a duration, 90 seconds. Basically, what that means is that if you sound this call, this rattle, and you have one of these affected species around and they go, and they lift their head and go, what is that? And they start walking in, that means that this call will work on them for 90 seconds, that they'll wander their way in, and after 90 seconds, then they'll be like, oh, okay, I don't hear nothing else, and they'll go on about their business. So you don't have to sit there and bum, 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 bum. Use the call like every 2 seconds. You can burp or bup, 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 use it once, wait 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, and then bup, 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 bup again, or burp again. You don't have to be spamming on it all the time. And then the last item they have there, the last thing, is attraction strength. This one is 40. There's some that's 50. There's some that's 60. I'm not sure how that translates into actual, because it's not like 40% chance of working on it. Basically, just the higher the number, the more effective it is. So if you have a choice, like here we have a buck snortwheeze collar that works on white-tailed deer. We also have a doe or deer bleat collar. These both work on white-tailed deer, but if you look at this snortwheeze collar, its attraction strength is only 40. The bleat collar has attraction strength of 50. So the bleat collar is more likely to work, but the snortwheeze collar has a longer range. 200 meters for the snortwheeze, only 150 for the bleat collar. So each call has its own strengths, its own weaknesses. Now some of these, like I say, you start off with the snortwheeze collar, the deer bleat collar, and those are great for Leighton and I believe Hirschfelten. Yeah, mule deer, things like that. But there are some that you need, like for this deer grunt collar, I think I had to be like level 35 to unlock that. Elk collar, I had to be like level, I think, 20 something. Don't quote me on these numbers. Again, the moose collar, I had to be a certain level experience, so I didn't get those quite at first. But they do give you a very nice selection right from the beginning. Definitely use them. Definitely use them when you get your chance. But like I said, always pay attention to what affected species you have. Now, for our situation here today, we're hunting red deer. So I do have a red deer collar, and it has, I believe, 200 meter range, and it does work. You go out here and start using them. Man, if there's red deer within 200 meters, they will perk their heads up, and they will start coming over towards you. And now, even though we're facing this direction, and we sound this off, this is sound. It travels in all directions. So there could be a red deer back here in this field. He could still hear it and come up here. Okay, that sound goes all 360 degrees of you. 200 meter radius. So yeah, they all run about $6,000, so they're not super cheap, but they are not super expensive either. Any other questions or any other tips anyone wants to contribute? And I hope we helped out Turnstile there with the no zero. With the ranges for medium range, and hope we helped out a little bit with the crossbow sight, having the 3 dots. Oh yeah, they are super worth the money. They are. But when you're first starting off, money can be very tight, so you want to plan kind of a little bit like what maps you want to go to and what you want to hunt, because this little store, it's not Walmart, man. They will not give you refunds, so be sure of what you want to buy before you click that buy button. Because, like I said, no refunds, no returns, no exchanges. Yeah, another good tip is always hit the need zones when you pass them. More need zones, more animals. Exactly. And I've heard that from other good sources too. That when you're out walking around and you see those marks on the ground, go examine them. Go examine them. And it'll say, dun, 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 need zone discovered, eating zone, drinking zone, resting zone. Just examine every single one of them that you pretty much you can. Because exactly as Potts said, the more need zones you have on your map, when you first start off, your map is an open slate. Like you can see this one, there's a lot of areas that I have not explored, a lot of places where I do not have need zones. But the more of those you find, the more animals you will have on your map. That comes from even the highest levels. So when you're first starting off, you are not going to have as many animals on your map as I'm going to have on my map. I'm not going to have as many animals on my map as like Mad or Potts will, because man, they they scour. They go over every inch of their maps and they find every single one of their zones. So they would even have more animals than even I would. So that is a very, very excellent tip. Thank you, Potts. But yeah, discover them as much as you can. Not only does it add more animals to your map, but it also gives you more places that you can go hunt and be successful. As well as you can build up a schedule. Like you can use the information like we have here, a little roe deer zone, and it's got the little water droplet symbol on there. So it means they go there to drink. And we know now that they are there from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay? If we find a eating zone for roe deer, like I don't know if we have any or not. That's for rabbits. Yeah, roe deer here. So we know roe deer will come here to this spot from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then here they will be here from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So there we can go right to these two places and successfully hunt roe deer from 2 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock in the morning. 7 hours. We can double the time that we can hunt them. And you can build up a schedule of what they do, what they're going to be doing all day long. And then you can compare that to where the zones are and figure out, okay, from 2 o'clock, I need to be on this lake at this end right here. At 6 o'clock, they're going to be eating up here in this field. I need to go up there. I need to follow them up there. And you can make, extend out your hunts. You can hunt the same animal over multiple zones and have a chance to take a lot more animals. Traveling map on the four-wheeler and actually doing missions help me level up faster. Yeah, they do. Some of them can be tough. There are some tricky missions, a couple of them. But for the most part, doing missions and as well discovering your hunting outposts. Yeah, missions are vital early game. Yeah, you get a lot of very, very easy experience, and a lot of them will give you money too for early game. Now, discovering and claiming your hunting outposts, they give you some very good XP, and as well those little lore objects that give you a little bit of backstory excuse me, the little stone piles of stone that have the little. Let's see if we have any on our map. I don't know if I discovered them or not. You will see the little green icons with the question mark. Anytime you see something like that, go check it out. A lot of times it'll be just hunting stands, but a lot of times you'll find lure objects and things like that they're also very easy XP to discover them. And as well, they give you a nice backstory. If you like the missions and you like the story that they present for each map, they give you a lot of backstory. So they're pretty fun to find. And since you're like moving through an area anyhow, take 5-10 seconds, take 30 seconds, run over there, check it out, see what it is, get yourself some free XP. So anything else? Anybody want to throw anything in there? We will go over what, I'm not sure if it was Matt or Potts said it earlier. Man, the community for this game, and I'm not the only one to say it, is phenomenal. I mean, man, people really do try to help each other out, and that is unusual for a lot of games. A lot of games are so cutthroat, but this community is very, very cool. A lot of people come together. A lot of people have helped me out. I got people helping me out each and every day still. Mad and Potts, man, they do a lot for me, helping support me in the game, with my channels. Turnstile also, man, he's awesome, giving me shout outs and stuff. The community for this game is phenomenal. Take advantage of it if you're a new player. If you have questions, ask. I mean, go into a chat. It doesn't have to be mine. It doesn't have to be anybody's in particular, but go in, check out their chat, and don't be afraid to ask questions, man. Most of the folks playing this game are very, very cool. I myself, it gives me a good feeling helping somebody else out, because I jumped into this game not knowing anything, and I pretty much had to figure out a lot of stuff for myself. It was very tiring, very frustrating, and I didn't enjoy the game as much as I could have. But if I can help someone else by answering a 30-second question and, help them enjoy the game more, help them understand the game better, help them get better kills, then that makes me feel pretty good. And a lot of people in this community feel that same way. So I guess the biggest and best tip is don't be afraid to get involved. Don't be afraid to get into chat in the streams. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because probably 90 to 95% of the people in this community are very awesome people and love helping out their fellow players. So I guess that's probably the biggest and best tip I can give you right there. So at this point, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, this was just to be a short video, but it turned out to be 2 hours. But that's all good, because this game, you have all the time in the world, man. Don't let anybody tell you different. So for all my viewers, returning viewers, you guys are awesome. You know it. Team Gray, Mad, Potts, Turnstile, you guys are the fucking best, dude. To any new viewers, man, I hope this helped you out. And if it didn't, man, and you see me on, you see Mad from off on, Potts, go in their stream, man. They are great. Potts runs a very successful stream. Turnstile Champion, man, he has a very entertaining, very good stream, and man, he's catching on to a lot of stuff very, very quickly, man. He's gonna be the first honorary redneck of New York City. I'm gonna dub him that one of these days. Go in their streams, man. Check them out. See what they do. Observe them. Ask them questions, man. These guys know a lot of stuff. So we hope you come back. We hope you follow. Like I said, there's a lot of good people in this community. Take advantage of it. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So again, thank you all so much. And until next time, Hunter, keep that crossbow loaded. Keep your eyes on that prize. Use that patience. Use that skill. Use that stealth. Be an SBD hunter, silent but deadly, and you will get the big bucks somewhere down the road. So until then, take care. Have a great day. We will be on later for our regular episode, 9 o'clock my time, a little later on in the evening. So again, thanks again. Take care. We'll see you then.